ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। यस्मिन् महद्गुणा राजन् गृह्यन्ते कविभिर्मुहुः न ते धुना पिधीयन्ते यथा भगवतीश्वरे। Translation. O King, Prahlad Maharaj's good qualities are still glorified by learned saints and Vaishnavas, as all good qualities are always found existing in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They also exist forever in his devotee Prahlad Maharaj. Here is a very beautiful shloka today that we're discussing. It talks about Prahlad Maharaj's wonderful qualities. Now, in general, in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami, he speaks about qualities of Krishna. So how many qualities Krishna has? 64, that's it. Unlimited. How can the qualities of the Lord be quantified and give a number? 64. But as you rightly said, 64 are the prominent qualities. So Srila Rupa Goswami lists down these prominent qualities. First, he lists down the 50 qualities. He starts with beautiful, well-constructed body. That's the first quality that he starts with. And the 50th quality is full with riches. Very rich. So these are the 50 qualities. Then Srila Rupa Goswami, he says, Jiveshu ete vasantopi bindu bindu taya kvachit paripurnataya bhanti tatraiva purushottame. So all these 50 qualities are present in the Lord to the full. But when it comes to the jivas, bindu pindu taya bhati, very little. These qualities are there even in living entities, but very, very little in quantity. So after having discussed these 50 qualities and giving the conclusion, the living entities also have these qualities, but in minute quantities. Rupa Goswami starts describing the next set of qualities. Then he describes 5 more set of qualities. And then he says, these qualities are always situated in his original condition, omniscient, evergreen, ever fresh, eternally blissful, master of all perfection. And he says that these 5 qualities, these are not present in living entities. These are present in Lord Shiva, but not in full. But in full, present in Lord Vishnu. Then he lists down another 5 set of qualities. And he says, inconceivable potencies, able to sustain innumerable universes, seed of all incarnations, to give the highest perfection to the enemies who are killed by Narayan, the most attractive of the self-realized persons. And Rupa Goswami concludes saying that these 5 qualities are not even present in Lord Shiva. It's present complete in Lord Vishnu or Narayan. And see, when it comes to us, we are Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Our worshipable deity is Krishna. And as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, our Acharyas, they prove the supremacy of the Lord in all the possible ways. And Srila Rupa Goswami establishes the fact saying, 60 qualities are present in Lord Vishnu, but there are 4 qualities which are present only in Krishna. Okay, let me ask the devotees, which are the 4 qualities? Okay, Rupa Madhuri, the beautiful form of the Lord. Leela Madhuri, the beautiful pastime that he performs. Venu Madhuri, Lord plays his beautiful flute. And Prema Madhuri, where he performs wonderful pastimes with his devotees. So now, it's a very important point to note. Obviously, in Bhagavatam class, we discuss that living entity cannot become God. But at the same time, we should have logical understanding of this so that we can convince others also. And at times, when we feel that we are God, we can convince ourselves also. We see, after all, we are there in this material world to compete with Krishna. Yes, he is Prabhu, I am also not less, me too. And you will see that in our day-to-day life, whatever activities we do, as Prabhupada says, we are trying to lord it over material nature. So who is the lord of material nature? Krishna. And when we are also trying to lord it over material nature, what are we trying to do? Compete with Krishna's position. Therefore, in this world, as soon as there are programs and discourses where people say that all of us we are God, people are very happy. So many times people ask me this question, Prabhu, in our organization, people take so much of time to get connected very strongly. But in other organizations, they connect so fast. Why? Because there they are bluffing them saying that everyone is God. But Srila Prabhupada helped us to understand we are not gods. G-O-D-S. We are gods. G-O-D apostrophe S. Yes. In fact, we are actually meant to be dogs of the Lord, servant of the Lord. So just imagine, when you tell this in the class that we all are dogs, who will get connected? But those people who really want to understand the truth, from many, many lifetimes who are trying to understand the truth, they are the ones who come to a platform where they can accept this very, very sweet but bitter truth. That is, we are not God, we are God's servant. So now, when people talk about we all are God, then we need to have a proper understanding at how we are not. And in this discussion that we just now had, the qualities of the living entities and the Lord, it's very clear. We can max get 50 qualities. Living entities can get max 50 qualities. That too not in full. That too not in full. Very, very little quantity. Very little. Minute. Then where is the question of an ordinary living entity becoming God? Where is the question? Therefore, as soon as we understand this, then we realize, oh, this is so wonderful. And Srila Prabhupada, he helps us understand that how we are not God, but we are just part and parcel of God through various examples. In Sanatan Shiksha, Lord Chaitanya is preaching to Sanatan Goswami. Can you imagine having a personal class from Lord Chaitanya? Lord Chaitanya and then you alone. Best part is the person who is hearing cannot sleep. One-to-one class. One-to-one class. And Lord Chaitanya, he's not speaking some ordinary class where he's not telling some basic things of this material world, how to balance emotions and stress and anxiety and all that. He's speaking really something very high. Madhya Leela, last few chapters, it's all Sanatan Shiksha, where Lord Chaitanya is preaching to Sanatan Goswami. And there he describes one very important quality which is very much in context with the discussion that we're having today. Lord Chaitanya quotes Lord Krishna's activities in Dwarka. So in Dwarka, how many queens Lord Krishna had? 16,108 queens. Yesterday evening, one boy was asking, why these kings marry so many queens? I looked at him and asked, what is your problem? What is your problem? They're able to maintain? What is your problem? Look at Krishna's opulence. 16,108 queens. And each queen had a palace. It's not that he put them in 1 BHK house or something. Each queen had a palace, and from each palace every day some 10,000 cows were given in charity. Sometimes people ask me that if your Krishna can have so many females with him, why can't I have one? I said, you have as many as you want, but read what he was doing, try to do the same. And the best part is, yesterday that boy's question was, that how is that when they have multiple wives, how do they satisfy their wives? But one thing that we need to understand is, It's not that the queens of Dwarka, they were waiting with the calendar in the hand. Okay, now Krishna has gone to this palace, then he'll come to this and this and this. After Janmashtami, he'll come to my house. Krishna simultaneously was present in all the palaces. All the palaces. And a great personality, Narada Muni, he was the one who wanted to see the opulence of Krishna. He went to Dwarka and he was observing whichever house or whichever palace he would go, he would see Krishna doing different activities. In one palace, Krishna is sitting with his wife and having intimate discussions. In another palace, Krishna is playing with his kids. In another palace, Krishna is doing some other activity. Narada Muni was mesmerized looking at this. See, one thing that we need to understand is, even a living entity, by mystical power, if he attains that siddhi, he can expand himself into 9 forms. 9. So now someone might say, oh, then he is also like Krishna only. But there is a difference. You know what's the difference? Krishna, when he expands himself, he is a different individual in every different palace that he is in. But when a yogi expands himself, he is the same individual. Just to make it more easy to understand, if 9 forms, say I'm a yogi and expand myself into 9 forms, I'm not going to do that, I'm just giving example. So say they expand themselves into 9 forms and he lifts the right hand, all of them will lift their right hand. Hope you understand. Same individual. But Krishna is not like that. Krishna is doing different activities in different palaces. That's the greatness. That's the greatness of the Lord. And therefore Narad Muni was mesmerized, because Narad Muni is a yogi. He can expand himself into 9 forms. But Narad Muni could understand different activities. In every palace, different activities. Oh, I cannot do this. And he was mesmerized to see this. This is called as the opulence of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam, we have another great personality. Okay, let me do a quiz. He was doing tapasya in the waters of Jamuna. Who was that? Saubhari Muni. So Saubhari Muni, he had the potency to expand himself, and he expanded himself into 8 forms. And he married 50 queens in the kingdom of Mandhata. But his expansion was not like that of Krishna, but his expansion was different. He was the same individual, but when it comes to Krishna, he was a different individual in all the 16,108 palaces. I hope this point is clear. So here it becomes very clear that how Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, his qualities are different level, and a living entity may try to approach those qualities, but then he cannot, because max we can get is very little of 50 qualities. So this is a point which establishes that a living entity can never become God. But then there is something special. This shloka says that there is something special with devotees. What is that speciality about devotees? See, when it comes to devotees, they are the ones who can actually acquire the qualities of the Lord also. What's the example that is given in the shloka that we discussed today? Prahlad Maharaj. What is that Prahlad Maharaj doing? He was simultaneously present in Vaikuntha and Sutalalok. Who is there in Sutalalok? Prahlad Maharaj's grandson, Bali Maharaj. So Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj and Vaman Dev, and obviously all the wonderful residents there, they are there. So now just imagine in Vaikuntha, Prahlad Maharaj is lifting his right hand, and even Sutalok, his right hand goes up. How will he do his services? So a very wonderful understanding here is, when it comes to devotees, they acquire Lord's qualities. And they, like Prahlad Maharaj, they can expand themselves into different forms as different individuals and continue doing their services. Another very important example in our parampara is all the Goswamis in our parampara. Yes. Rupa Goswami, for example. So Rupa Goswami in the spiritual world, he is Rupa Manjari. He is a personal assistant of Srimati Radharani. To be more specific, personal assistant of Lalita Sakhi, who is an assistant of Srimati Radharani. Now, when Rupa Goswami is here as a monk, just wearing some covering just to cover the lower part of the body, and all the time writing the books. So looks like the place in spiritual world is vacant. So Rupa Manjari is missing there because she has come down as Rupa Goswami. What do you all say? So Rupa Manjari disappeared from there and appeared here as Rupa Goswami. Can we say that? This is the glory of a devotee, where a devotee here he is doing missionary activities of writing books, establishing temples, going around and establishing Vaishnava etiquettes, and so on and so forth. And in the spiritual world, he continues doing his intimate services to their lordships, Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. Therefore, very beautifully, Srila Prabhupada, he is making this point that ordinary living beings cannot be so qualified, but a devotee can be qualified like Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, one tricky question. So devotees can acquire all the qualities of the Lord to the fullest? Never. There's only one Krishna with supreme qualities. And all the devotees are always subordinate to Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj could just have his two forms, one in Vaikuntha Lok and one in Sutal Lok. But look at Krishna, 16,108 Krishnas. And you know in Rasa Leela how many Krishnas were there? Lakhs of gopis, and with each gopi there is an individual personality, Krishna, dancing with them in very, very wonderful, beautiful form. Therefore, a devotee will acquire qualities of the Lord, but then he cannot acquire the qualities of the Lord to the fullest. Therefore, hence proved that Krishna is always above the conditioned souls and also liberated souls. Where sometimes people feel, once I get liberation, I'll become God. Never. Conditioned state, we are not God. Liberated state, we are not God. In both the state, we are servants of God. This has to be ingrained in our system when we read all these different wonderful subject matters. So here comes the question. It's so wonderful to hear that we acquire divine qualities as that of the Lord. How to acquire divine qualities? And Srimad Bhagavatam gives a very wonderful understanding of this. Please repeat. Yashasti bhaktir bhagavatya kinchana sarvair gunais tatra samasate surah harava bhaktasya kuto mahadguna manorathe nasati dhavato bahihi. Here it is said, who can get the divine qualities? Who can get the divine qualities? And the answer given is, Yashasti bhaktir bhagvatya kinchana. The ones who do akinchan bhakti, unalloyed devotional service to Krishna, those personalities can acquire divine qualities. Oh, what about others? Oh, others cannot acquire any divine qualities. In fact, Srimad Bhagavatam is such a straightforward scripture which says, all the good qualities are there only in devotees, no good quality in non-devotee. Therefore, sometimes when we go to newcomers class, it becomes very difficult to give a class because you have to think twice before speaking. Yes, you speak like this. All good qualities only in devotees, no good qualities in non-devotees. Two things will happen. Either they will kill themselves or kill the speaker. Yes. Therefore, it's very clear now that only those who do akinchana bhakti, unalloyed devotional service, they can acquire divine qualities. An example is Prahlad Maharaj. So what is the obstacle between us and the unalloyed devotional service? Because if I understand that obstacle, then we can also render unalloyed devotional service. And what is that obstacle? There's only one obstacle, and that is our tendency to enjoy in this material world independent of Krishna. Just this one thing is holding us very badly in this material world. The tendency to enjoy. There's no problem in tendency to enjoy, but tendency to enjoy independent of Krishna is a problem, and therefore we are stuck here in this material world. Any activity that we do, wherever we enjoy, we will see that how we want to enjoy independent of Krishna. Sometimes devotees ask, why Krishna has put us in illusion? If we were in proper knowledge, then there was no problem only. No, that was a big problem if you were in complete knowledge. You know why? Because we have come to this material world for only one thing, and that is to enjoy. Now, to enjoy, as a master, you should forget that there is some other master. And therefore, this is Krishna's sheer mercy unto all of us, that he keeps us in illusion to an extent that people go on to say that there is no God. And they feel, oh, I am that master, I can enjoy. And because we are in illusion, Krishna has facilitated our desire to enjoy, and therefore we are able to enjoy in this material world independent of Krishna. But as soon as a person gets into knowledge and he understands, oh, there is some master, there's no question of enjoyment. Where's the question of enjoyment? Yes. So this is sheer mercy of Krishna, I would say, that he has put us in illusion. Because we have a desire to enjoy and Krishna is facilitating. But as soon as a devotee gets a desire, no, enough, I don't want to enjoy now, I want to serve Krishna, he facilitates that also. Therefore, I always say that we all have a personal assistant, and his name is Mr. Krishna. He notes down our desire. Oh, he wants to enjoy independent of me? Okay, done. And then he facilitates. And then we get a desire coming in association of devotees. I want to serve Krishna. Okay, made a note. I'll make the arrangement. I'll send the right people to you. They'll register you for the course. You register, go attend the course, become a devotee. So in this way, Krishna is facilitating. But one fact is clear, that we are in this material world to enjoy. From many, many lifetimes we have been enjoying. And the best part is, every lifetime we feel, for the first time I'm enjoying. So when I was joining Brahmachari Ashram, so my relatives were behind me, scolding me, convincing me that you should get married, you should come back to house, etc. And they were telling you, you are a young boy, you should enjoy. Then I said, see, since we read Bhagavatam, so we speak from Bhagavatam. So I said, many, many lifetimes we have been enjoying. This one life, I want to just serve Krishna. You know what the relative was telling me? But this life you have not enjoyed. No. This life you enjoy, and after that we will see. And who actually knows have you enjoyed or not in the past life? So this is what is a mindset of people in this world, where they feel, don't know if you have really enjoyed last life. This life we should enjoy nicely. And like this, lifetime after lifetime, the only thing that we're doing is trying to enjoy in this material world. And with every enjoyment, get entangled in this material world. This is what is going on. Therefore, what is that obstacle between us attaining unalloyed devotional service? This one thing, tendency to enjoy independent of Krishna. If somehow this tendency, this desire is replaced with service, we are done. Because the only thing that is there in the spiritual world is service. If somehow this desire to enjoy is replaced with service, our life is successful. But one point that all of us can notice, naturally all of us, every day we keep serving only. Even outsiders, the materialist, what do? Every day they keep serving. And Srila Prabhupada, very often he quoted this very wonderful shloka. Before that, Prabhupada writes something very special in Introduction to Bhagavad Gita. Let me read it as it is. Prabhupada says, a living being serves other living beings in various capacities. By doing so, the living entity enjoys life. The lower animals serve human beings as servants serve their master. A serves B master, B serves C master, C serves D master, and so on. Under these circumstances, we can see that one friend serves another friend. The mother serves the son. The wife serves the husband serves the wife, and so on. In this way, we can see that no living being is exempt from rendering service to other living beings. And therefore, we can safely conclude that service is the constant companion of living being, and that the rendering of service is the eternal religion of the living being. So Prabhupada, with this wonderful analysis, is establishing that how all the time we keep serving. Because service is our natural constitutional position. So all of us, all the time we are serving. The best part is this, all the time we are serving. But in this service, there are some problems. And there's a very beautiful shloka that is quoted by Srila Prabhupada. He says, Kamadinam katina katidha palita durnideshas Tesham jatamaina karuna na tripa nopashantihi Utsrajaitan athayadupate sampratam labda buddhis tvamayata sharanam abhayam mam nyungshatmadasye. So here it is said, a devotee is praying to the Lord and he's saying, Kam adinam katina katidha palita durnideshas. Oh Lord, I have been serving very, very cruel masters. And who are those cruel masters? Kam adi, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. I'm serving all these personalities. And whatever this I have been doing, na karuna, but they don't have any compassion on me. Isn't that a fact? In this world, how much ever you serve anyone, even if you give your best 100%, tell me, can you satisfy everyone? Can you satisfy at least one person to the fullest? My God. That's the state of this material world. We cannot. Come what may, how much ever you do, you give 100%, we cannot satisfy anyone in this world. Even 1% we cannot satisfy. And therefore, here it is said, the devotee is saying, how much I am serving these people, but they are not satisfied. No karuna on me, no compassion on me. And say, Lord asks about him, so what about you? Why are you serving? He says, because I'm shameless. I'm shameless and I'm not able to give up my desires also of sense gratification. But oh Lord, now I've got buddhi. I surrender unto you, please engage me in your service. So currently the situation is this, that we are serving, no doubt. We are serving all the day. From morning till night, we are serving. Even in dreams, we are serving. So service is there. Yes. But there is a problem. Why? Because everything is proper when it comes to our service that currently we are rendering. We should be completely satisfied. Each and every person of this material world should be Atmaram, completely satisfied. Because constitutional position to serve, and I'm already serving, I should be completely satisfied. But looks like there is some problem. When you take up any service, there are three entities involved. Object of service, subject of service, service itself. Object of service, the person whom we serve, the served. Yes. Subject of service, the servant, one who is serving. And service itself, the service that we are rendering. So now, if I'm not satisfied by doing service in this world, and that we can obviously see in the material world, yes. So yesterday in the evening, one boy came and he was very nice boy. He was crying. He's very elderly also, he's crying, shedding tears. What happened? He's crying. I said, tell me what happened. And that boy was telling, whatever I'm doing is not working, Prabhuji, what to do? I said, do you have any problem with the job? He said, no. For your information, he's earning 3 lakhs per month. And he looks very nice, handsome boy. I said, what is the problem? I don't know, Prabhuji, but I'm not satisfied. And he was crying more and more and more. He was telling, Prabhuji, please tell me what I'm supposed to do. I said, see, I have got 0 package and I'm happy. You come with me. Let's go. You'll be happy, you'll be satisfied. But the fact is this, people are not satisfied in this world. It means there is some problem. Either there is some problem in the object of service, or there's a problem in subject of service, or there's a problem in service itself. Let's analyze one by one. Object of service. So we're serving the mortal beings of this world. But according to Shastra, they are not our object of service. You serve n number of mortal beings, will not be satisfied because they cannot be object of service. Because our Shastras say the object of service is someone very special. Please repeat. Jivera Swarupahaya Krishnera Nityadasa Krishnera Tathashta Shakti Bheda Bheda Prakasha. So whose servants are we? Krishna. Jivera Swarup hoy Krishnera Nityadas. We are servants of Krishna. So when I say we are servants of Krishna, so who is the object of service? Krishna. He is the object of service. Now when I'm not serving the object of service and apart from him I'm serving everyone in this material world, tell me how can I be satisfied? It's almost like I'm very, very thirsty And I'm drinking a lot of different types of liquids, soft drinks, hot drinks, this and that. But these drinks cannot satisfy my hunger. What can actually satisfy my hunger is water. So every urge has got a satisfying entity in this material world. I am thirsty, yes, there's water available. I'm hungry, there's food available to satisfy. Similarly, when I have the service ingrained in me, the service attitude ingrained in me, then to fulfill that service attitude, there should be a proper object of service. And that proper object of service is Krishna only and no other person apart from him. And therefore, only when we serve Krishna, then we can be satisfied. Therefore, the first understanding is the object of service is a problem in our life. So when we replace the object of service and make only Krishna as object of service, then there's a question of satisfaction. Okay, let's analyze the next one. Service itself. So what service people are doing in this material world? What do people do for each other in this material world? Can you list down some things? We're satisfying ourselves by doing what activities? There's so much of love that people shower on each other. People purchase gifts and they give. People try to take care of the bodies of the people, emotions of the people. And they're even on the intellectual platform, they try to satisfy them. But in all that service that people are doing, the question comes, is this what a living entity is expected to do? Is this the service that can satisfy the living entity? And the Shastras say, no. What service can satisfy a living entity? And our scriptures give the answer. Only direct angas of devotional service can satisfy the living entity. What are direct service? Direct angas of devotional service? Starts with Shravanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, and goes on till Atma Nivedanam. And all glories to Srila Rupa Goswami. All glories to him. He is the one who has given us distinctly 64 direct angas of bhakti listed down in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. So as soon as I say that I am a devotee, as soon as I say I am a devotee, you know what's the definition of a devotee? A person who executes 64 angas of bhakti. One of them or all of them or some of them. That person can be called as a devotee. Yes, this is the definition. So now the service has to be these 64 angas of bhakti. You do one, you do few, you do all of them. This service can actually satisfy us. There were many times when newcomers come for our programs. They attend kirtan, they attend some class, and they feel very satisfied. Very satisfied. Sometimes these newcomers, when they come for our class, when they pick up the beads, somehow there is some mercy on newcomers. These are offenseless, no? They're not offended any devotee till now. They pick up the beads, and there are times when I'm sitting on the Vyasasan and I'm the course instructor and making everyone chant. I tell them, close your eyes and start chanting, and they start chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And I've seen multiple times, for some people, tears are flowing from the eyes. Once it so happened that person is chanting Hare Krishna, Hare. I'm sitting on Vyasasan looking at Krishna, I'm chanting so many rounds, nothing is happening to me. Yes. So when it comes to these newcomers, they might get this mercy. Yes. And they are the ones who come initially, and they are the ones who might relish these aspects of Krishna consciousness. But one thing is clear. So when the newcomers come, they have no clue of what is devotional service. They don't know how to do that anga also. But as soon as they're taught to do some anga of devotional service, they feel very satisfied. Why? Because this direct angas of bhakti can satisfy a living entity. So we understood that there was a problem in object of service. So we have to replace the object of service, and that is Krishna. We have to make the object of service only one personality, and that is Krishna. Second, service itself is a problem, because till date, whatever service I have been doing is all to either gratify the other person, or in the pretext of gratifying other person, gratifying one's own self. So what service can actually satisfy us? The direct angas of bhakti. Now what about the problem with the subject of service? We ourselves, servants. Because the mood of service also matters a lot. In what way am I rendering service matters a lot. It's very beautifully described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Please repeat. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhokshaje Ahituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. Here is the key for complete satisfaction that is mentioned. What is the key to complete satisfaction? Ahituki apratihata seva to adhokshaja. Uninterrupted, unmotivated devotional service onto Krishna. And just by doing this, a person can become completely satisfied. So here comes the mood that is mentioned. So what is the mood with which we are supposed to render service? The mood is no personal agenda, no personal interest. This is the mood that is expected. Ahituki. No other motivation, no personal agenda. And if someone asks you, why are you serving? And the answer is, because I want to serve. I want to serve to please the Lord. And it is seen when we sacrifice our personal interest, that is the time mercy flows in our life. His Holiness Indradyumna Swami Maharaj, he narrates one very wonderful incident of his life when he was newly initiated devotee. So in one occasion, he was assisting Prabhupada, and they were traveling in the flight from some place to London. And that was the time when Shyam Sundar Prabhu, Mukunda Prabhu, Gurudas Prabhu, they had opened a center in London. They had a nice friendship with George Harrison, and they had invited Prabhupada that you please come. We have a new center. So Indradyumna Maharaj accompanied Prabhupada. He was very happy. Maharaj, you know how Maharaj narrates. And you can easily make out how happy he was by his narration when he was speaking. So Maharaj was saying that he was extremely happy to be with Prabhupada and to serve Prabhupada. And wherever Prabhupada would go, all the devotees, they would do wonderful arrangements to receive Prabhupada, grand arrangements. There are times when devotees have carried huge Vyasasan to airport, so that Prabhupada can sit on that huge Vyasasan. And there will be tumultuous kirtan. There will be devotees crying and weeping, rolling on the ground, garlands after garlands offered to Prabhupada. So reception of Prabhupada was something which was always cherished desire of a devotee to witness. So Indradyumna Maharaj was also very happy that he is going. He'll be able to see the wonderful reception of Prabhupada. Everyone will be doing kirtan, and I'll be able to see that. So they all got down from the flight, and they were there at the baggage collecting counter. The baggages came, and the big baggage was missing of Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, it's a very, very important bag. In that, the commentaries of all the acharyas are there, and that's what I need for translation. And they all waited, it's not coming. So Shyama Sundar Prabhu had come, to receive Prabhupada. And Shyam Sundar Prabhu was getting a little annoyed because devotees are waiting outside and they're standing there for one bag. So Shyam Sundar Prabhu told Prabhupada that Prabhupada looks like the bag is not coming, we'll ask someone to wait. And at that time, Indradyumna Maharaj was hiding behind a pillar. Don't ask me to wait. And somehow Shyam Sundar Prabhu said, Prabhupada, we will leave, Indradyumna will take care. So he waited. And he was cursing himself. Because Kirtan sound increased. As why Prabhupada went, Kirtan sound increased. And he wanted to witness all that. And at that time, Maharaj narrates, he says, that I couldn't see that. I was cursing that bag. Then why the bag is not coming? I was cursing the authorities there. Where did they keep the bag? It seems it took 1.5 hours to get that bag. So in that time, Prabhupada reached there, he gave a class and all the devotees had prasadam also. His Prabhupada would give short classes, 30 minutes, 35 minutes. So after taking the bag, he went out and it was heavily raining. And Maharaj was narrating that the bag was so heavy, I was not able to pull the bag. I put that bag on the trolley, somehow I took it, it was heavily raining. And then I sat inside the taxi. And Maharaj was saying my face, and I was so morose. Even the taxi driver asked what happened. And then he got down at the temple. And then again, he somehow dragged the bag. And he went there directly in the words of Maharaj. He saw all the devotees sitting with empty paper plates, with some turmeric stains on the plate and some fingerprints of ghee. And Maharaj was expecting that there will be some prasadam for him. So he asked the devotee. He was very, very hungry, very tired, very exhausted. After that long journey, he reached. Maharaj asked others that, some prasadam for me. And they said, oh, you missed. You should have come few hours early, few hours before. There's huge feast prasadam. And now look at the state of Maharaj. Look at the state of his. And then he asked the devotees, can you please help me to take this bag up to Prabhupada's room? Because he could see there was written A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada on the door. So he had to go, to the room. He asked the devotees, and devotees said, we are full, we cannot take the bag. And somehow Maharaj reached the door. And then Maharaj said that, he was not very keen about knocking the door and all that. He was exhausted. He just opened the door and he was pulling the bag in such a way that his back was towards the door. And he just pulled the bag inside like that. And at that time, in that place, Nanda Kumar Prabhu was the personal assistant of Prabhupada. He was there. And then when Maharaj was pulling the bag, behind was Prabhupada. And Nanda Kumar Prabhu shouted, you're going to bump at Prabhupada. And he turned and Prabhupada said, Hare Krishna. And he fell at the feet. And he chanted Prabhupada's Pranam Mantra, Namam Vishnu Padaya. And at that time, Prabhupada, very hard slap he gave on the back. And Indrabdana Maharaj was thinking, is he happy or is he angry? And he himself answered, either of it is okay, it's a mercy. Prabhupada said something which he didn't hear. Because he was in ecstasy. And then he got up because he could see that Prabhupada's feet are moving out. So when Prabhupada went, he got up and he asked Nanda Kumar Prabhu, what did Prabhupada say? At that time, in the words of Maharaj, Nanda Kumar Prabhu said that Prabhupada said, very, very wonderful thing, I'm astonished. He said, so much endeavor in this material world. And looking at you, Indradyumna, looking at you, Prabhupada said, but when I take you back home, back to Godhead, everything will be easy and sublime. Now see, in this entire, when I was reading this in the article, I was so happy. Because one thing is very clear. Maharaj could have just kept his personal agenda in front. I want to witness the Kirtan. I want to be with other devotees. I want to have prasad. I want to attend Prabhupada's class or whatever. But then whatever service was given, sacrificing his personal agenda, he was rendering the service. And look at the mercy that flowed. Can you imagine Senapati Bhakta, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada saying, when I will take you back home, it's a guarantee. It's a guarantee. So mercy flowed. And mercy flows in the life of those devotees who keep their personal agenda away, who sacrifice their personal interest and then render service to the Lord with one mood, that is to give pleasure to Krishna. Such people are the ones who advance in bhakti. See, many times in the purports we will see, we talk about oneness. Oneness of the Jiva and the Supreme Lord. What is that oneness? And Prabhupada says that oneness is having no self-interest. Having the same interest as that of the Lord is actually oneness. Whatever Lord desires, I'll do that. Whatever the Guru Parampara desires, I'll do that. That is called oneness. Oneness is not merging in the Lord. Oneness is having the same interest, same desire as that of the Lord. And we see this very clearly, that how even on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna had his own personal interest. But after hearing Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna sacrificed his personal interest, kept his personal agendas away, and he followed what Krishna said. And he is glorified now in the pages of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, as a great, great pure devotee who served Krishna, who helped Krishna to execute the mission that he had. And similarly, you take the case of Srila Prabhupada. Tell me which devotee would like to leave Vrindavan at the age of 69. For that, you should get an opportunity to stay in Vrindavan first. And say you get an opportunity to stay there. And you know very well now, maybe I don't know how many years are there, days or weeks, I don't know. And at that time, we get a service. And we get ready for the service. How is that possible? No devotee wants to step out of Vrindavan. No devotee. So Prabhupada's greatness is this. He just gave up everything of his own. And only thing that was there in front of him was the mission. Mission given by his spiritual master, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Mission given by the entire Guru Parampara to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. There was a discussion when Srila Prabhupada was a Grihastha. So some God brothers were discussing that Prithivite ache jata nagaradi gram sarvatra prachar hoiba moranam. So that Prithvi actually is West Bengal. Which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will not speak about the entire globe. Since he was present there, so we just told Prithvi, and Prithvi means that tract of land where he performed his pastimes. And at that time, Prabhupada said that Prithvi means the entire globe. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants the mission to be preached in the entire globe. And the God Brother asked, who will do that task? And Srila Prabhupada said that some fool will come in the future who will do this task. Srila Prabhupada ki. Look at Prabhupada's humility. So Prabhupada gave up everything, all his personal agendas away. And he was just there to execute the mission of his spiritual master in the West. Can you imagine? Prabhupada, firstly, he has appeared in a Vaishnava family. There's no question of eating non-veg and this and that. There's no question of coming close to non-veg. And he was staying in the house of Sally Agarwal, Gopal Agarwal in Pennsylvania. And there Prabhupada would keep his vegetables, and in the same fridge there was meat. And Prabhupada was tolerating all that. For what? Only for one thing, for the mission. Therefore, in Prabhupada we could see that no personal agenda, only service to the Guru Parampara was the goal, that was the priority. And at the same time, whatever achievements was there in Prabhupada's life, all the credit he gave it to because of my spiritual master. I did not do because of my spiritual master. And he was not telling like us. People are glorifying us and we are like, nahi, maine nahi kiya. And then internally we are like, अरे पूरा पता नहीं है तुम्हें मैंने कितना किया है. Yes. Prabhupada was not like that. Prabhupada was naturally, wholeheartedly offering all the credits to the Guru and the Guru Parampara. How can a person do this? How can a person do this? And the answer is this, that when we don't have any personal agenda, naturally we will feel that how, because of them, everything is happening. Yes. So personal agenda is a big block in the life of a devotee to render devotional service. And we will see this. We have seen this in Srila Prabhupada's various lectures and conversations. Only for one thing Prabhupada took the credit. For what he took the credit? He said, I take credit only for presenting the message of the parampara as it is. I have not diluted Krishna. So Prabhupada took the credit for only one thing, and that is to become an instrument in the hands of Guru and Krishna. Such a wonderful thing, such a wonderful thing. Therefore, only one thing that I would like to say, having heard all these different subject matters, that the ones who give up personal agenda, sacrifice one's own personal interest, keeps the mission in front and the egos later, such people are the ones who will be able to render proper service. And especially I would like to address the leaders who have taken up leadership role here in Krishna consciousness. We spiritual leaders, we have a great responsibility. And that responsibility is keeping all the devotees in the community together. And at times, when there are misunderstandings because of miscommunication, whatever it is a leader's job to keep everyone united. If needed, the leader should be ready to fall at the feet of others and make them stay in the community. Because if you want to make Bangalore the first Krishna conscious city, that unity is what is going to matter. Because what we can do individually, that will be very, very less as compared to what we can do together. Therefore, those communities which are united all the time in every circumstance, they are the ones who are growing nicely, spreading the mission very nicely, far and wide. Therefore, we have to give up our personal agenda, keep the mission in front, egos come later. Therefore, whenever any conflict comes, at least in our life, we ask this question, So what should I keep in front? My ego, or should I keep the mission in front? And it becomes very easy, Because only two options are there. And we keep speaking about mission. Naturally, we choose mission. Okay, ego later. And when the mission is the priority, naturally the person goes, begs forgiveness, other person satisfied, and the entire community is very nicely taken care. Therefore, each and every devotee, if he gives a personal agenda, keeps the mission in front, that devotee will receive the mercy of the Lord. The divine qualities will manifest, and that devotee will become an empowered instrument of Guru and the entire Guru Parampara, which begins from Krishna. And if we become empowered instruments, naturally spreading Krishna consciousness will be very, very easy. Because only by the empowerment of the Lord we can do something for this mission. So on this note, I would like to pause here. Quickly we'll revise whatever we discussed and then I'll take a question. So we started with, can we become God? Okay, now we cannot. Maybe after liberation we can. We can never become God. Max we can get how many qualities? Full 50 qualities? Very little, very minute. But devotees are the ones who can acquire even godly qualities of Krishna to the full. No, partially. Partially the devotee can acquire some qualities, yes. And one can get divine qualities when he renders unalloyed devotional service. What is the obstacle between us and unalloyed devotional service? The tendency to enjoy. That is the big obstacle. Tendency to enjoy. Yes. And that tendency to enjoy has to be replaced with service. And we discussed 3 aspects when it comes to service. Subject of service, object of service, and service itself. And we understood very clearly there is a problem in all the 3 in our life, therefore we are not satisfied. I mean people in general. So what should be the object of service? Only Krishna. Only Krishna. What should be the service? The direct angas of devotional service, which are listed by Rupa Goswami, numbered 64. And when it comes to subject of service, what is that we have to modify in us when it comes to our mood as servant? Sacrifice one's personal interest. And with such service rendered, with proper object of service, and with proper mood of the servant, one will surely be empowered by the Guru Parampara and will be able to do some wonderful service. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki.